argue with them because
why you are?
wait. Hold on. If what they're saying,
Can you
what they're saying is true, are we just arguing to argue? Because if what they're saying is true, that means that the Soviet Union will be reinstated in our lifetime. The same Soviet Union that almost led us to nuclear war. That means that they're our number one threat. Why don't we just go to war with Russia now instead of doing all this proxy?
You finally asked a normal question. That's the reason why the U.S. funds the Ukrainian
why don't we attack them
to prevent the Soviet Union
everything that they don't have? Why don't we attack them?
Why don't they involved in the region since '94?
Because
it's called
Ukraine is not a problem.
I can't believe y'all tried to shift it to 2022. Like when Russia invaded in 2014, that wasn't a violation of the Minsk.
Why don't we attack them now? Why do we
guys are trying to like
slip your way out of that? Why don't we attack them now?
Right now, the U.S. has given 2.5% of whatever their budget to Ukraine. So if they get to win this war with 2.5% of their budget and not put any U.S. soldiers, that's a win for them. They take down an enemy territory without fucking putting soldiers on the ground. That's a great strategy. So I don't know what the fuck you're arguing with.
It's in hell and it's never going to recover.
You think the U.S. gives a fuck about that?
No, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's talking about how much they contribute to NATO at 2.5% of their GDP.
No, I'm saying 2.5% of the U.S. budget goes on funding the Ukraine war.
We only stopped buying Russian gas and oil, but it's being siphoned through Azerbaijan for the last fucking 3 years. All of this is a fucking play on soft power. Your idea that the Cold War simmered down and died down when the Soviet Union fell is fucking incorrect. It's two countries that are trying to implement their soft power in a region that is vital to European economics. So this idea that the Soviet Union is going to come back, no, it will not come back as a Soviet communist union, no, but it will come back as Russia continuing to have certain economic control in the region, like they do in Georgia, like they do through other states like Armenia, Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, all these other fucking countries that they have influence over while they continue to better their relationship with China, which makes them directly an enemy to who? Which makes them an enemy.
They're just trying to do their own thing on the eastern side of the world.
No, they will always be your enemy.
What you're saying makes sense.
Always be your enemy.
What you're saying makes sense. What you're saying makes sense.
He's been playing too much Call of Duty, and he idolizes Russia, or he just speaks fluent in propaganda.
No. But what said makes a lot of sense. So they're our economic enemy, and it's our interest to stop our economic enemy because of the reasons why he's saying.
I literally fucking told you that.
Why do we have to believe in the lies that Putin is going to come try to shake us when we're sleeping, when it's really about money? We want to make more money than them, and we're going to sacrifice Ukrainian lives for it. That's what it's about.
There you go.
It's not but you do realize.
It's not just about money. It's about power.
Can you agree with that?
You do realize that Aisha, being Ukrainian, is obviously going to have nationalism and pride in her to stand up for her people.
No, she's repeating lies that she knows are lies.
What does that matter to you?
That matters. That really affects her position.
This is happening because he's trying to agree with the Soviet Union. This is happening because the United States wants to keep control of money, which is going to help us.
It's more than money. It's more than money. It's power. It's soft power. It's a part of money. Yes. It's a part of the big soft power scheme.
You guys all agree. All right, cool.
So do you remember what we did to the Middle East? Since the fucking 80s?
We created lies about weapons of mass destruction.
Exactly.
We could kill many countries.
But those wars were
lies about the Russians so we can kill a whole entire generation of people.
The Middle East was before WMDs, brother. The Middle East was from the 80s when we started fucking with, or 70s when we started fucking with the Mujahideen to fight against the Soviet Union. Your enemy will never change as the United States. Russia will always continue to compete with you and fight for your downfall. BRICS as a whole entity are countries that want the downfall of the United States. we throw other countries in certain regions like lambs to slaughter because it benefits the U.S. soft power. That's why since 92, we've been involved in regions like Georgia, like Armenia, again, like Kazakhstan. The only country we haven't been able to infiltrate with our political espionage and our color revolutions is fucking Belarus, because Lukashenko has that country by the balls. He is Putin's lapdog, and he has been Putin's lapdog for the better part of 30 fucking years. Every other country in that region has had multiple revolutions, my country being one of them. We got out of a war in 2020 that literally decimated our young generation. We're still reeling from it. And the U.S. stayed silent about it, and Russia used it as an event to increase their soft power. And now the U.S. is waking up. John Bolton was one of the first people to come to my country and say, hey, we want one stipulation from you, Armenia. We want to make sure that your relationship with Iran waits until October the 18th. But unfortunately, on October 7th, before the EU and UN sanctions were lifted off of Iran, the Palestinians, specifically Hamas, an Iranian-backed proxy army, attacked the state of Israel, which completely destroyed every change that was going to happen in the region. Iran was supposed to become the political superpower in that region. Iran was supposed to become the powerhouse. Turkey was supposed to fall, and all of these nations were supposed to have U.S. leanings. And because all of this happened, because Ukraine decided to be the lambs that get thrown to slaughter, we're in this consistent and horrible economic situation.
Okay, so Hagop, this is my thing. The only reason why I'm against this war is because I actually believe in spending money to maintain the American empire that protects the dollar that we all benefit from here in the States. And the essence of war and how our empire came to be and what that is. A lot of people don't like how the sausage is made, but they love hamburgers, right? What I'm saying is, I think that our actions with Russia, we know that we're not going to destroy Russia. We know that we're not going to do it. And my thing is that I think that our actions have actually made.
That's bullshit.
I think that our actions actually go against our economic interests because we pushed Russia back into the hands of the Chinese and the Indians and BRICS. I think that our actions, cutting the Russians out of the world's economic trade, by in my opinion, by kind of antagonizing them to make this move, I think that it's gonna be bad for the U.S. dollar in the long run, and that's just my opinion. That's the only reason why I'm against it, because I think that it strengthens BRICS just because of the way that we went about it.
It's already bad.
This is
It's already bad. It's already bad, and the ramification will be worse. And Aisha, Russia has lost 2 wars in its entire existence. Once against Japan and once against Poland. You cannot. Well, yeah, they did lose that time.
They lost against Afghanistan.
Which, by the way, Russia is establishing
you can tell they get their political opinions from Twitter and
yes,
TikTok.
they're making.
Because the only
You're just agreeing with them, Aisha. You're just agreeing with them.
Because NATO, the only thing that you can chant is NATO and agreements, which is all fucking propaganda crap that you picked up from TikTok.
You were just
hold up, Oli. Can I give you my point of disagreement?
A lot of us here have a good comment and make history in this situation. I think it's unfair to say that we are taking shit from TikTok. I got some extremely knowledgeable.
Because the fact, I tell you how I know. One, because you pointed out our nationality. One, because you said that we have like different ethnic backgrounds as the Russians or whatever fucking crap that you're saying.
No,
which is classic Russian propaganda. In this fucking crap like the NATO and the fucking agreements and all that crap, but then you don't acknowledge any of the fucking agreement that they fucking violated and don't give a shit about any of the other agreements, but you're saying, oh, but they should have taken this or they could have done that or whatever, and it would have somehow, and Russia would have, followed suit the fucking agreement. One, obviously that would not have been the fucking case. You can literally smell the fucking Russian crap coming from your teeth.
So, Oni, my only disagreement with the point you made is this: is that if the United States really want to put sanctions on Russia, they wouldn't be allowing the European Union to buy oil from Russia through Azerbaijan, to buy gas from Russia through Azerbaijan. BRICS in itself is a threat, but not as big of a threat as it can be, because India is one of the major players in BRICS, and India is the biggest fence-sitting fucking country in the world. India plays both sides. India is very good at being pro-China and pro-Russia at certain points, and then sitting on the lap of Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whoever's in office in the United States. Their foreign policy is, yes, please pay me.
Yeah.
That's all fucking India cares about. China completely controls Russia economically. Russia is a failed fucking state that does not have the infrastructure, the means of engineering and production that China provides it now. Russia is such in a poor economic state that it cannot even produce its simple household products by itself.
Are you sure?
It's only rich. Yes, it's only rich in natural resources, which can be a huge benefit, right? When you have the EU and NATO turn their back and say, it's okay, the Europeans don't deserve to suffer. Let them buy oil and gas from another genocide.
Russia sells energy. Russia sells weapons. They have manufacturing, and then they have the raw materials to support their manufacturing.
Only means of economic power is, like you said, yes, weaponry is one of them.
Disconnected from the Western. They're disconnected from Western finance, so they're not scalable. Which I agree with you there. But when it comes to the things that are actually needed to be a war-fighting country that can that is big enough to be a problem, they're. But this is my thing, right? So you're saying. This is my thing. So Donald Trump sat down with these European countries and he said, hey, you guys are relying so much on Russian oil. Why are you doing this? And then everybody made fun of him. And then you guys had the problems that you guys had. The reason why Europe can't get off of Russian oil is because if they do, they won't be able to survive, period. So my only thing is that why didn't they get off that shit before? And if Donald Trump, and if the people on the right, love Russians so much, if Donald Trump loves Russians so much, why would he tell the European powers way before Russia ever invaded to get off of Russian oil? Because it doesn't make any sense, because they're putting their national security at risk.
I think we're talking past each other because we're in complete agreement. I completely agree with you.
No.
I do not think Europe is our burden, and it shouldn't be the U.S.'s burden. If it's going to cost the United States and the quality of life in the United States to go down, fuck Europe. What the fuck do they do for the U.S.? Nothing. They're nothing but a fucking burden. Especially granted, given the fact that there's no benefit of us propping up these European fucking countries. What are they going to do? Fucking go to war in Libya for us again? Who gives a fuck? We're done doing that. But in terms of Russia's power and production, yes, you're right. Weaponry, which they're losing, mind you, at a massive, large scale, which they cannot fucking keep up with because of this war. That's why you have fucking foot soldiers going out to combat in Ukraine with Papashas, PPSHs from fucking World War I and II. You got people fighting with Mosins, fucking bolt-action rifles from the turn of the century, because they can't afford to keep it going.
You know what? You are right. You are right. And I think the most interesting part about this, because I'm so happy that we can get a little bit past the propaganda, because some people just want to argue, and we can actually talk about the most interesting part about this war.
You haven't pointed out what we should call propaganda, but I pointed out.
Because if I point it out, then you're just gonna get mad. I'm not paying attention to what you're saying. At the end of the day, I think one of the most interesting parts about this war is that we've gotten to basically use one of our American pawns, which is Ukraine. It's almost like a chess game. We sacrifice one of our pawns, and we get to see how Russia's playing. We get to see how modern warfare is going to look in the 21st century with drones, with all of that, how they're using shotguns on drones, how tank warfare has changed. And I think that
you don't think I'm going to let go of that? No, you need to point out where we.
I think the smart part about what the Americans are doing, and this is going to be my last point, I think the smart part about what the Americans are doing is that they are using up a lot of Russian resources. We are using a lot of.
We saw the weakness of Russian small and large arms.
I want him to exactly address where did we state any type of propaganda.
I'm not talking to you because you're not.
Yeah, I know, because I'm the only Ukrainian in the
you're
fucking room.
biased.
Please
and you're
point
supposed
out
to be.
exactly where I said any kind of propaganda, because I know you know.
I didn't talk about you.
So,
Oh, in
okay.
general, no, you
Did
said
I
there's
talk about
there's
it?
propaganda on
Involved
both
into
sides.
arguments.
I said
You
there's a
said
lot of
there's
people in here
propaganda
who
on
are
both
feeding
sides. There's only
propaganda.
two people opposing the rest of you, so.
But
Oh, sorry,
I'm not
She-Wolf
opposing
as well,
anything.
so three, technically.
You don't even. You're just talking. I've said multiple times. People have said things, and you say you disagree, and then it turns out that you don't disagree. You just
No,
contradict
I've
yourself.
stated clearly where and why you're just too retarded to understand.
To understand what? What are we
Literally, I
disagreeing about?
said
don't
it
disagree
multiple
about
times before you go on about whatever the NATO crap, and I said that
Y'all
they
are
would
making me
fight
smoke my
regardless. And
sixth
you're like,
cigarette.
yeah, so you
want to
agree
argue
with
with
me.
someone.
You're so fucking stupid, honestly. Oni, I'm not going to let go of it. State exactly what we said that was propaganda on the other side, on the Ukrainian side, where exactly what was said was propaganda.
There is no Ukrainian propaganda. There's only American propaganda and Russian propaganda. Because
Okay, did we state any of their propaganda? Did we state any of their propaganda? Did we state any of their propaganda?
You guys are pawns, and you want to fight for the genocide of your own people. So what do I care?
Oni,
It's not my
what did
country,
any of
it's
us
your
say?
country. And you wanna
Oni,
fight-
I'm not going to
fight
let
for
go
the
of
death
it.
your
What
own
did any of us say that was
people.
actually
Call people
propaganda?
names. When you're a whole generation of your own men, nigga, they have to get 80-year-olds on the front
Say
lines.
what we said that was
Anyway,
propaganda.
have
yeah,
nobody in the trenches.
whoever likes to see my
There's
naked
nobody
picture,
left. You wanna fight-
just text
wanna
me
fight
with
for
a
the
message,
Russian
and
Yo,
I'm
why
gonna
you
send
Arabs
you.
always so fucking weird about your naked pictures, man? Get the fuck out.
I know. Hey, Nicolations is up here. He might want that.
Oni, answer.
I'm gonna go
Exactly
back
what was
and
said
forth
that was
with Ukrainian
propaganda.
over the fact that she wants her own people to die. Like, what do I care?
Oni,
I actually
you
don't care.
keep tiptoeing
You
around
care.
it.
That is
State
haram.
exactly what was said that was propaganda. I'm not going to let you go over. I'm not going to let you off the hook of that.
Can I answer this
Wait,
question?
just
though,
because you're a
Aisha?
white woman doesn't mean that you get to control what I do and say. I can just
That's
log off the app and then I don't have to answer your question. And I'm not going to answer your question. Like
Because
I
I'm
said,
fucking right.
I'm
We
not
didn't say any
Ukrainian.
fucking
I
propaganda.
don't
You
care
just
about
want because
Ukrainian
you
lives.
finally
should care more
recognize there
about
was propaganda on the. You finally
You should care
recognize
more
that
about
you did
Ukrainian
finally
lives.
hear
Or
the
you
fucking
don't care
Russian
about
propaganda,
Ukrainian lives.
but
You want more of your countrymen to die
you
for no
wanted to be
reason.
Switzerland.
I think it's
You wanted to be Switzerland and said
Maybe
that
you're
there was
trying to make
propaganda
a
on both
philosophy
sides,
still.
so that way you
Maybe
can
you're
play
trying
the
to
fucking middle
sacrifice
game.
it. I don't know.
But you know there was no fucking propaganda, so don't fucking give me that full of shit.
Oh, I know propaganda when I hear it. I
Okay,
can tell
so
you
fucking tell
exactly
me where
what
it is. You
no.
just want to be Switzerland. So shut the fuck up.
Switzerland. I
Yes.
wish you. Why don't you want to be Switzerland instead of your countrymen dying?
What do you mean? Why don't I want to be fucking Switzerland? That's such a fucking stupid question. Because if I be Switzerland, I'm going to fucking be
Switzerland, but
Russian.
you want your people to die for no reason. Because at the end
No,
of the day,
I don't.
Russia's gonna win.
And they would die for no reason if we become Russian. If we become Russian, they would literally die for no
The only
reason.
difference between countries in the Caucasus and Switzerland is the Caucasians have fucking pride. The Caucasians have culture. The Caucasians have been a warring people for a very fucking long time historically. They're not going to bend the knee like Switzerland does. This is why it doesn't fucking work in my country either. Because we have fucking pride. We like to fight for our indigenous land. We're not like the fucking Swiss that's a mix of fucking French, Germanic, and weirdo. That's the difference. These people will die for their fucking land, just like my people have continued to die for our fucking land.
Hagab. We're saying this like this is a virtue. Okay, this is this one. I believe in people dying for what they believe in, but when you lose, and then everyone's dead, and then
I'd rather all of us
If Mexico and
I'd rather all of us die. As Armenians, as an Armenian, I'd
How can
rather
you own
every
things when
single
you're dead?
Armenian
Can you
go
own something
and
when you're dead?
fight. I would love for every single Armenian to go and fight for the existence of our culture and country and die than to say that we bent the knee and got fucked by our Azeri goat fucking neighbors. Because we have lived through this experience for 6,000 years. It does not matter. I'd rather die to the last person, fight to the last person like we have multiple times before in history and continue to survive than bend the knee for the superpowers in the fucking region. Fuck them. Fuck Russia. Fuck every other fucking superpower like Turkey and Azerbaijan and Israel. They could go fuck themselves. I give up. My mother will proudly give me up as a son to go die in that war. And as a father, I would give up my children to go die in a war against Azerbaijan. Because this is who we are.
This
is who we are culturally, bro. You don't get.
Yeah, why don't we put the U.S. in it? Why don't we put the U.S. in it? I would rather die an American than a Canadian.
Someone who's gonna stick up for what he feels like, and then
I mean, I can kind of stand with the Ukrainians.
That's listening in. FBI that's listening in. We're only talking about Minecraft. We're not talking about real life.
oh yeah, this is all GTA 5.
This is all in Minecraft.
No. She-Wolf just said that the Palestinian terrorists are need to keep doing what they're doing. So FBI, keep listening.
It's not
These are extremists.
I can say
something about terrorists.
They want their children to be martyrs.
Free their
Hey, Louis,
Talking about terrorists.
why don't you read the link that I put in the chat, bro? So then a lot of people can educate themselves on the actual foreign affairs and how diplomatic.
Yeah, you don't have to encase everything you fucking say in a condescending bitch ass nigga.
Whoa.
So, Oni, when you brought up weaponry,
Damn. Hey, yo.
Can we get one mic on Ashley, please? Because Ashley's going to say that, hey, you don't allow me to speak. And we're not that type of room.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. I'm about to go hang out with my Steam guys. They're missing me. They said they miss me.
You saying
But I was saying I can say that if Canada or Mexico invaded the U.S. and was trying to take it over, I would rather die an American than be under anybody else's flag. Because I would fight
you're not
for my
gonna
country.
die.
So I can stand with.
Thank you, Sharon.
No, so I understand why you would say that, Ashley, but that's not actually what's happening on the ground out there. And for Louis, the comment wasn't for you, bro. The comment was for those that are talking about things that are going to be happening without understanding the present affairs and how the diplomatic relations are going at the very moment. So, think it got tight. Oh shit.
Okay, well, Hagop and whoever believes in dying to the last man, well, we're getting pretty close. So Ukraine is about to achieve its objective because they're almost out of fighting men. And I want to see are the women going to be next? Are the children going to be next? Who's going to go to the front?
I was speaking about they will happily all die before they want to be a part of Russia.
I don't know.
Aisha, you live in Britain.
I don't know if Ukraine
I
is
speaking from quote unquote you are in Ukraine.
That's not a valid point.
Okay, one mic on somebody. God damn.
That's
You are in fucking Brit, dude.
Yeah, no.
You're speaking
in the U.S.
TikTok
in the
news.
U.S. and I would have gotten shot for fucking Armenia. That's not a valid point.
You tried and you failed. Just shut up.
No, you're pretending that you're in Ukraine now. Like, what the fuck is wrong with
I'm
you,
not
dude?
pretending I'm in Ukraine. I'm Ukraine's own national.
Sit back, let them women fight. Let them titties fight.
And those one of those.
Okay, shut up.
Fuck it. They want to fight.
It don't concern you,
Yes, ma'am.
May I speak?
With your Michael Jackson.
Oh, hell no.
Hey, Alan, as long as you don't bring up Blackish, just don't bring up Blackish.
I won't. That I
Right.
never talked about Ukraine. Yeah, so Russia already won the war, in case you didn't know. I'm not going to bother putting the link, but if you look at the territory Russia has held in Ukraine, they've held it for about 2 years. With all the billions we've sent Ukraine, they have not moved that 1 inch. And Russia
What the fuck
controls
is this?
about...
You from Azerbaijan?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
How much land
Yeah,
Russia controls?
and so,
Do you know
yeah,
how
I
much
heard
land
you
Russia
guys.
controls? Let me show you. Let me show you.
Yeah,
Alan gets the land, and then if Aisha wants, she.
Yeah, and Russia, thank you
Yeah,
for
it's
that.
150
Russia
Ukraine.
already also controls about 4/5 of the sea,
Ports.
coastline.
Yeah.
So, really, the point is moot. People can argue back and forth. It's a pointless war at this point in time, and I see no reason to spend money, U.S. tax dollars, funding that war.
Hey,
Argue
Alan.
all you want. That's it. Yeah.
So they say it's 20% of what they've had for the last 2 years of what they occupy.
So
20%
hang on,
of
look at
Ukraine.
my PTR. That's the map of what Russia occupies.
That's all they want. They haven't moved any further. They're just holding what they've already had for the last 2 years.
Because they don't even want the whole entire country. What Russia wants to do is Russia
The
wants
problem is that
to
Aisha believes they want the whole country.
Yeah, this
Well,
is
they've secured,
that's where the
they've
propaganda
secured
comes.
the water border around Crimea. They have a direct access now. They're comfortable with where they are. Yes, I agree. That is a victory if you look at the map.
Well,
Russia's
that's-
interest directly right now is in Kiev. They've been trying to take Kiev since the beginning of this
hell
war.
no.
They've been trying to secure Kiev since the beginning of this war, but every winter, whatever, they make a little bit of progress and they go backwards, whatever, in the winter, and they're
They really don't care. Look, here's the bottom line.
No, Alan, to say that they don't care is
Aisha,
actually
I know you're talking
Alan,
over
I
everybody.
don't care what you
I
think.
heard
You know, I'm going to
And I don't
teach you
care.
history.
You're going to be polite. And let other
Kiev
people
was the
talk.
capital.
You're
Kiev
going to
historically
let
is
other
important to
people
Russia
talk.
and Ukraine.
Thank you.
Kiev is
I
important
know
historically
you're
to Russia
giving
and
all the
Ukraine. It was a
talk.
capital. It was the capital
Nobody
of the Soviet
gives a
Union.
fuck about
It was the capital. All
Nobody
these fucking
cares.
countries together, and Kiev was the capital. It is
Nobody
important to Russia, so don't even
cares.
sit there and bullshit.
Nobody cares. The map you have is accurate. That's the territory Russia has held for 2 years. Don't you think after spending how many billions of dollars, there should be some progress in that? There isn't. But that aside,
I don't understand.
the rule is you should always maintain cordial relations with your neighbors. Ukraine borders Russia. They could have negotiated some sort of peaceful settlement. Instead, the U.S. has been fucking around in that region. The U.S. is the one who walks up to the little wimpy kid and says, yeah, see that guy there? You can take him. You go fight him. Go fight him. And then the wimpy little kid gets his ass beat, and the U.S. says, no. He was just lucky. Go fight him again. We've all seen the bullies who make other people fight.
Alan.
I think the biggest Mariupol was the biggest strategic victory, I think, for Russia, because Mariupol and Kharkiv are the points of access to the Black Sea that Russia could utilize to increase its trade dominance.
Yes, hey Dom, you fucking got it.
But start.
You're too late to the conversation, and you didn't even listen.
You're going to get to respond after this.
Anyways,
I'm going to answer your propaganda question that you wanted me to answer a few minutes ago.
Now I understand why they are
the fact that you can't accept that Ukraine will never win this war kind of shows that you are under the influence of propaganda. You understand? Ukraine could have never won the war, not even with the help of Jesus Christ. And I'm Catholic.
Hold on,
So
bro.
it's
That was
just
blasphemous.
what it is.
blasphemy.
No, it just is what it is.
You gotta expect a lot from a Catholic.
And every single time someone gives you the facts on how they're not going to win and how the Russians won, you start
From Catholic.
We literally stated here several times that without U.S. help, Ukraine would have Without U.S. help, Ukraine would have fallen.
With U.S. help too. You understand? Even with our help, because Russia's too big. You understand? And we're not going to risk. We're not going to do what we need to do for Ukraine like it's Texas. If Russia attacked.
Awesome. Everybody, please quote post the space with join the conversation so that more people can in fact see that the space is here. Whenever you quote post a space, it basically shows as posts about this, and it's really cool. So more people can see that there is in fact interest in it. As it always goes, this is why I start by quote posting the space immediately after it has been published, so that more people can in fact join in and listen. I'm going to start today by cooking a little bit of steak as usual, just for the funsies. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Just had mine. It was delicious.
Awesome. Feel as though a lot of people have been triggered and be getting the vegan comments again. It's funny. I want to publicly challenge a vegan at some point about their assessment as to what exactly would cause damages. And it's like they always use the same excuses. They use like mass farming as an excuse for saying, oh, everything goes to shit, right? It's a bit of a problem, actually, because I'll tell you something. Vegans have a major fucking issue. And the issue is that they don't understand the food that they consume actually kills more animals than if I were to simply eat a cow. And I'll tell you why. Let's imagine, I've said this before because it's kind of a funny thing to say, and it's, is an unhinged thing to say in a sense as well, because it's true. If you have like a field and you're growing something like soybeans or anything in particular, right? This field is literally ripe for the picking for any animal that's out there. You get stuff that lives in the ground, stuff that lives on the plant, stuff that feeds on the plant by living on it, or just birds that feed on the stuff that then tries to feed on the plants, and it's a fully recursive cycle. That's how nature works, right? To prevent this from happening, you inundate the field with toxins. If you enter this field, whatever goes in there that is not human, and sometimes even humans as well, whatever is going in that field dies. It's a toxic war zone, effectively. And the amount of damage that you cause with this alone is